Hello, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment and the sports capital of the world, and everything else that goes with Las Vegas. Welcome to our show. Again, my co-host, Shelly Stevens, and our guest today, Manny Kess. Manny Kess is a hell of a guy. I mean, you have a New Yorker like myself, and you're here in Las Vegas. You say you came out to Vegas. You don't want to go back to New York.
Very true.
Especially now in this weather.
So now you're here in Las Vegas. You're going to making some changes. Well, you're going to be running for county commissioner, and you are also involved with dealing with sports entertainers. You tell a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so I'm in hospitality. So what we do is we plan people's trips to Vegas from all over the world, but we focus on professional athletes. So a lot of athletes that come here for vacation or after their season's done, we set them up, restaurants, hotels, shows, whatever they want to do. So we kind of plan their itinerary from as little or as much as they want.
Well, so that's with all kinds of entertainment?
Yeah.
Sports and entertainment?
Everything.
Everything.
Whoever calls us,
Okay,
we answer
so-
the phone.
So if somebody wants to reach you, how can they reach you?
So, well, we don't do any marketing, so everything is word of mouth. So I've been here 15 years, started my company 14 years ago, so everything has been word of mouth. So we started with one person, they referred to teammates and their friends, and the network kind of built like that.
What website do you have now?
So it's the company website is called The Kess Group, so it's www.thekessgroup.com. And myself or someone from the team, we reply all the time whenever we get requests.
So you look like you're an athlete yourself. You got good build on you.
I like to go to the gym so I can eat more sweets. But
So you work on a regular basis?
5 days a week, yes.
Which gym you go to?
I go to a place called the Strength Culture.
Straight
So
culture.
I'm not into those like fancy lifetimes, and I like my dungeons. You go in, get my workout in, and then leave.
Yeah.
I don't need swimming pools. I don't need saunas. I don't need all the bells and whistles. Just
Yeah.
I need some good equipment, a clean gym, and I like
you
it.
look like a fighter, you're built to be a fighter, man.
I was a soccer player, so I don't know about that. But I can kick someone, but I don't know about taking a punch.
That's why you still got a straight nose.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so happy to meet you. We have some things in common besides being from the East Coast. I know you do things with entertainment and stuff. So tell me about that. How'd you get into that?
So honestly, I was in New York, and I was in the restaurant business in New York, and I would come out to Vegas a few times a year for vacation just to get away, especially when it's freezing cold. And friends of mine were like, "Hey man, you go to Vegas. I want to go here. I want to go there. What do I do? Who do I call?" So after I closed my business in New York, I had to like restart. So I came out here, and I'm like, you know what? Instead of referring people, I could just do it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you call XYZ person, and they get mad at me because that person wouldn't get back to them. So I was like, you know what? Let's get rid of the middleman. I'll do it myself. I'm a hard worker. I can figure it out. And that's what happened. And like I said earlier, just started with a few friends of mine that were professional athletes, took care of them, and then they just kind of referred their buddies. And then, hey, I got this actor. I have this musician. And it just grew because
Great.
if you do a good job, you're going to get
That's
good
right.
referrals, right?
That's
If you do a
right.
bad job,
Yeah.
people are going to be like,
Yeah.
ripping that piece of paper out, and you're out of the way. So it just kind of grew organically. And then my sister moved out here, started working with me, and now we have a staff of 14. So we're very blessed to be able to just take care of people, and the phone keeps on ringing. So
Good.
it's a blessing.
That's awesome. Such a pleasure to
That's
meet
great.
you.
Likewise. Thanks for having me. It's awesome.
Now, besides your entertainment that you're doing, you're also involved in politics. You tell us, normally I don't bring people to talk about politics, but we can talk about your career in the political arena. What's it going to be like? What you're running for?
I think I'm crazy. So I'm told I'm crazy, but I'm running for county commissioner, and I've never wanted to be in politics. I'm not considering myself a politician, and God willing, if I win, I won't be a politician. I want to be a public servant.
I think that's what the way we need today. So many things they're not going right in different parts of the country. And here in Nevada, we need some changes as well. We got a good governor who's doing something good, Joe Lombardo. He's doing real good. And now you're going to be in your District E, that's on the east side.
So District E runs from Las Vegas Boulevard east to Lake Las Vegas. So the county of Clark County, where Las Vegas, everyone thinks it's Las Vegas. It's actually called Clark County. They break it down into 7 districts. So the people that can vote for you can only be in your area, but when you're on the commission, you vote on everything for the whole county.
Right.
So it's a very important job that has many facets. It controls the strip, oversees the strip, the airport, a lot of the public works. 60% of the Metropolitan Police Department's budget. So it's a very important job. And like you said earlier, we're in a place right now where people aren't public servants. They just pick a party, they pick a side, and they're just machines. You shouldn't just be a Republican or a Democrat. You should do what's best for the people that you represent.
Right.
And that's what I think, not just Las Vegas, the nation lacks. You turn on the news and it's, oh, this crazy lefty or this crazy right. Why? We didn't have that 20, 30 years
That's
ago.
right.
Now we have this
Yeah.
You know,
very polarizing.
Yeah.
when you call it United States of America, that word United means
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
It means United means everybody, right? They're not talking about Republican, Democrat. We're talking about united. We all should be united together so we can all work together and have a good life together. But if you're not united, it's not going to happen. You're going to make some changes.
Right now, I don't think that we're very united. I think it's very polarizing, and unfortunately, politicians made that happen. Everyone's just trying to keep a job instead of doing what's right. So my position is very simple. I don't like how Clark County is being ran. I don't approve of the people that are in charge, the commissioners. They might be great people. I don't know them. I don't care. They're not doing a good job. So let's get rid of people that don't do what they say they're going to do, and let's bring in new blood, hold those people accountable, and if they don't do their job, get rid of them.
That's right.
But you can't just keep electing the same people based on a party, and then nothing changes.
Yeah.
Right. You know, that's what's happening around, you know, the whole country. You know, there's no harmony. They're not united. I mean, we got to stop all this fighting back and forth. You see what's going on. Every time you put on the TV, you see all these bad things that are happening around the country. I don't like to see my children, my grandchildren, grow up in that environment. It's not a good way to live, you know?
Yeah. I agree with you. It was a different time back then, I think, when we were kids. And we never had any of the stuff that's going on now. We were taught to respect our president no matter what party he was from, and that's the way it was. You know, nobody
Well, police, everybody. I mean, look at the federal agents.
Exactly.
You might not agree with everything that's happening, but
Right.
yes, you know, for me, it's simple. Like when you get pulled over, turn the car off, 10 and 2, windows down.
Yeah.
Now you turn on TV, windows up, recording, you know, cursing at a police officer. I'm
Yeah.
like, when did this change
I
happen?
know, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of individuals, when you just have some word that hardly anybody ever uses, that's 10 and 2. A lot of individuals don't know what 10 and 2 means. You know, you see, he keeps his hand on 10 and 2. You know that? Like a clock, on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
You keep your left hand on the 10 and the right hand on number 2. When they pull you over, keep your hands there.
That's right.
And don't stop pulling one hand away. Yes. Looking for danger. Keep it at 10 and 2. That's what they mean. But a lot of individuals never use that phrase. And you
Yeah,
do.
it's true. Well, because that's how I was raised, you know.
Yeah,
and I get pulled over, I'm respectful. Sometimes I get a
right.
ticket, sometimes I don't. I mean, thank God
Yeah.
I don't get pulled over in Vegas. In New York, it's a different story. But you got to respect people. If you want
right.
respect, you got to give it.
That's
And I think
absolutely
we've
right.
kind of fallen away from that.
Yeah.
I got pulled over last year. My first ticket in 50 years. 50 years, and I told the cop, you know, I said, what speed was I going? He said, well, you going 10 above the normal, and basically it's a 25-mile zone. You were going 35. That's why I pulled you over. I said, but 35 is nothing. I mean, I was just rushing to go to the hospital. He said, want me to call an ambulance? I said, no. But anyway, he said, anyway, I'm going to give you a ticket so you can learn to obey the law. He gave me the ticket. But the first ticket I ever got, and only one, was with my daughter, youngest daughter, Christine. She was a baby, about 5, 6 months old. I had her in the back seat. She was crying like crazy. And I was trying to rush to get home. And the cop pulled me over. I said, well, he said, why are you rushing? I said, well, I'm trying to get my baby home safe to the mom. And he said, you see, you should know better than that. That's why I'm giving you a ticket. You shouldn't be driving that fast with the baby. That way. And I think I was driving.
And you can't argue with that one.
And you're right. I said, okay, you're right. I can't argue.
That's when you're like, I took one on the chin, and I was like, all right,
Exactly.
I accept it.
Well, anyway, but anyway, you're going to make some changes, and I hope they're better changes. I mean, the highways, they're pretty good here, you know, but some of the speed limit are really broken pretty bad. I see cars sometimes go 90, 100 miles an hour. I said, what? You know, I can't believe how fast they're going. I said, where's the cops around here when you need them? So sometimes you see motorcycle drivers, they go 110, 120 miles. I can't believe how fast they're going.
Yeah.
You go as fast as I can see going like that. I said, how can it be possible? You know, we got.
Well, I think there's a shortage of, and not just the
Highway
highway
patrol?
patrol, but also with Las Vegas Metro. So I think the sheriff, he's doing a good job of trying to get the recruitment up. But yeah, there's a shortage. So of course, you're not having as many officers on the roads, on the highways.
Right.
So unfortunately, others take advantage of that.
Yeah. Now you're going to be making some changes. What changes do you think you're going to do to help when your area?
I want to keep it very simple. We have a big homelessness issue in Vegas, and every year, supposedly we're putting more money towards it, but the number of homelessness keeps going up. So instead of talking about it, let's actually do something about it. So we need to get more beds. There's more homeless people in Las Vegas than there are beds. So you can't fix the problem if they have nowhere to go.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, we have to worry about crime. I live a mile away from the Strip. You would think that it'd be so safe. It's not. We can't even go to the supermarket by my house because there's drug addicts there and there's homeless, and they're constantly harassing you. We need to fix the problem with crime. And as a county commissioner, we oversee the budget, so there's got to be open communication with the sheriff. Hey, sheriff, what do you need? How can we help you? It's not, I can't change the laws. That's the state senate, and that's the state assembly and the governor. But what we can do as a commissioner is have the dialogue, have your door open, and find ways to give the sheriff and the police department all the tools that they need.
Right.
And the third thing is we have a huge issue with housing in Las Vegas, all of Nevada, but especially in Clark County. The cost of living continues to go up because people are leaving California and other states and coming here, so they're driving the prices up, but the cost of living isn't going to change just by talking about it.
Right.
You've got to find ways. You have to incentivize people to come here. We're a shortage of doctors, shortage of teachers.
Nurses.
You bring nurses, you bring those people in, what are they going to do? They're going to spend money here. They're going to buy homes here. They're going to stimulate the economy. The biggest issue that I see with Vegas is that the younger generation, the 25 to 35-year-olds now that are coming into money, that are working hard, they're not gambling the way people used to gamble. And Vegas was built on gambling. All of our revenue from taxes is predominantly gaming. Well, that number keeps going down every year, so you've got to find other ways to stimulate the local economy.
Right.
Right.
Again, if you're not talking about it, and people aren't thinking about what's happening in 2 years from now, they're opening up casinos in the Middle East. So all that Middle East money, a lot of the European money is not going to come here because they got something in their backyard.
Right.
So you've got to bring in other industries, you've got to bring in other ways to generate income to stimulate the economy. But you got to do it. You can't just talk about it. So that's what the thing with me is. We need to talk about how can we not just fix today, but look 5-10 years down the road so that fix becomes permanent.
Yeah, well, you know, the forecast doesn't look that great in the hospitality business, the hotels, the casino. Everything is dropping. But I think that we're going to make some changes. I mean, we talk about doing things for the betterment of Las Vegas. Entertainment is not as big as it was before. They're not paying the money to the entertainers the way they used to back in the old days. I say old days. I'm talking about Frank Sinatra days. I'm talking about after that, 20 years after Frank Sinatra. Everything was going pretty good in Las Vegas. Entertainers were making money, all the rest were making money. And that's why I see so many restaurants that are closing up. And some on the strip, some of the hotels, they're closing up these restaurants. When I like to see that this happen, you know, one time I was talking to somebody about why don't we have sports here? They're going to be the sports capital of the world. So many sports are coming to Vegas. But they don't talk about one that all of us on the East Coast love so much. And also horse racing. What's happening with the horse? How come we don't have horse racing in Nevada, in Las Vegas? And they say, well, because of the weather. Well, you know what, let's make it seasonal. Because you got horses in California, you got horses in Florida, in New York. Well, we make it seasonal and bring them and do a thing for a season period. You know, horse racing is something that nobody talks about. And I'm not a politician, but I'm very creative. I'm always thinking about ideas to make things better for all of us.
Well, because you're a businessman. And that's the difference. A lot of the people that are in office are either attorneys or career politicians. They never had to worry about balancing a budget, hiring, firing employees, making a payroll, worrying about expenses, overhead. If you ask them what a COG is, they probably have no idea. Cost of the goods. So we need people that are servants, not politicians. That's what we're lacking, and that's what I'm trying to change. My goal is when I win my election, other people from the private sector are going to be like, wow, Manny won. I can do it. I can add value. Because I'm doing this for my daughter. My wife can't take my daughter to the supermarket. Why? I want my daughter to. I can't take her for a stroll around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Why we got to be scared? Like you said, when I was young in New York, I was living in New York.
Yes.
My mom said, when the street light's on, you come home.
That's right.
Street light didn't come on until 8 p.m. Right now, you can't let your kids roam around.
No.
You're scared they're going to get either kidnapped or someone's going to hit them, because again, most of our deaths in Las Vegas are hit and runs and are based on people driving recklessly.
Right. And a lot of
Why
drugs.
is
A
that?
lot of drugs. There's fentanyl drugs that's out there, heroin, marijuana. I mean, there's a lot of things out there that I don't agree that's going on right now. They're selling. They have now it's legal. They legalize marijuana around the country, different places. I'm not in favor of that. I mean, that's something that. And I think anybody who smokes marijuana is not. You're in a different mindset. You're not the same anymore when you start smoking. Then from there you're not strong enough. Then you go to cocaine. They say you're doing heroin with the needle, and people say, "Wow, it's really going bad." So we got to put a stop to all of this with young folks out there.
Well, that again, unfortunately, that was not unfortunately, but the state legislature passed that law. But it's funny you say that. The commissioner that I'm going up against, he is a proponent of marijuana, and I don't care what you do in your private life, but he is very open about smoking and taking gummies while he's presiding over the commission. And I'm saying, wait, you go to your job that affects all of us, and you're high. What you do at home or on your own time, I don't care. But to be sitting there doing the county business, multi-billion-dollar budget, high, and to be so proud of that, that's where I draw the line. I'm like, I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
I cannot stand by you for doing that.
Yeah.
Do that at home on the weekend or when you're not working,
exactly.
right?
But you think about the kids, that they pass these laws. You got the kids now, 15, 16, 17 years old. They're either selling drugs out there, and they're doing the drugs themselves. They're not the same. These kids, they can't focus, right? How you gonna have these young kids, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, driving like crazy on the highway, putting our lives in danger? Children, anything can happen with the people that are so high out there.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the governor. I'm a big fan of the sheriff, but they only have so much ability they can do. You need more people in the state assembly, more state senators, city council, county commission. You need people up and down the ticket that actually care about their constituents and they want to serve. Not somebody who's been doing it their whole life that just wants to have a title. And that's what the number one thing that I'm trying to do is bring awareness. We need people that don't want to be a career politician. We need people that actually want to create change, whether it's one term or 2 or 3 or whatever they want to do, but that's what we lack.
Well, I guess I have to move to your district.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I want to vote for.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, because we do need some changes. We need people like you. You're young. You're intelligent. You have a lot going for yourself. This is something that we all got to say. We wish we had more guys like you out there to make it like a one big family. Right now, I don't like what I see.
And I want to be clear, it's not R versus D. It's do the right thing. Because there's plenty of good and bad Republicans. There's plenty of good and bad Democrats. So you shouldn't just run and vote for a letter. You should vote for a person and know what that person stands for. I was so mad because it was like, you got to vote for Kamala because she's a woman. Oh, you got to vote for Trump because he's white. No, vote for the person because you actually align with what they stand for and what you've seen them do. Because any one of us can read a script. Right? I can sit there and tell you whatever you want to hear, but what am I going to actually do?
Exactly. Yeah, you want to read a script, become a movie star.
Seriously.
You can't do this in real life. It's a different world.
And if you're going to be a politician and if you're going to serve.
Yeah.
I get into debates with friends of mine because I'm like, listen, a Democrat in California has different needs than a Democrat in New York or Texas. A Republican in Florida has a very different need than a Republican in Nevada because every state has different needs, right? And they're built differently. So people need to take time. The presidency matters, but for me as a business owner, local politics matter more. That's what affects me and my family more than the president and what he does, which is overarching.
Right.
And we've lost that. Everyone's so quick to vote for presidents. You know, in an off cycle, and not like this year where my election is, it's an off cycle because there's no president. 40% less voters than in a presidential election.
Oh.
So 40% of people are like, I'm not going to vote.
Oh,
But then they're going to complain about who's
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
We got to change that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, we got to educate them a little bit more, and a lot of it got to go also schools. You got to start these kids at the schools. You got to start educating them in the right direction, because sometimes there's so much negative stuff going on at home that those kids, they inherit those bad things that are being said about the politicians out there. We got to try to start at home, to educating your kids about doing the right things in life, and stop fighting with each other as far as parties are concerned. We have to try to understand and care for each other. When I grew up in New York, I was not into politics. I was young, and we were not into politics. I think people are more involved with politics now than they were back in the old days. Because there's so much going on with social media. Every time you see, if you pick up your phone, every other thing on your phone and a little ad, it got to do with politics. We didn't have that back in the old days. We didn't have no telephones, no cell phones. Even though Dick Tracy had a comic book, and in the comic book, Dick Tracy had a watch, and he was talking to that watch like 50, 60 years ago. How can you think about that 60 years ago? And that's actually what's happening today. So we need some changes. People, we have to try to educate people out there to tell them, let's educate these kids to the right track.
I agree.
They say the fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree, and that's because same thing happens in real life. Your kids will only follow you as a parent. The parents are the tree, the kids are the fruits. They listen to you, they see what you're doing, you're smoking weed, you're getting high, you're beating on your wife. They go through the same thing when they're growing up.
That's what they see.
So we got to make some changes. I'm glad that you're going to be on board there to making some new changes. I like the way you think. You seem to be on the right track. We need more like you out there.
Thank you. I'm trying. I mean, listen, it's not easy, and politics is expensive. I got to raise $1.5 million for my race. I'm like, why? Why you got to spend so much money? Because you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to knock on doors, you got to do ads. I'm like, see, it's a business. It's not about creating change. You got to raise money to go out there and get the word out there and fight the other side, which is going to try to knock you down. So it's a long road, but me and the wife, we decided to do it. So here we are.
Maybe I should come back here and knock you down. Maybe I should come back as a referee. Go in there, come on, give me a clean fight.
There you go.
No punching below the belt. No ear biting. Come on, give me a clean fight. Touch him up. I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch him up.
That's right. We need that. It's ugly out there.
But things will change. I'm sure. With you coming on board, the people that are viewers out there watching, you listen to young talent like this. This guy come up with great ideas. He has great ideas. He wants to make a change, which is something that they're not doing today. There's a lot of good, like he said, a lot of good people out there. Whether you're black, white, Democrat, Republican, whatever you are. Thing is, think wisely. Think about how am I going to make some changes for my family, for my loved ones. How can I go when I get buried and I leave my grandchildren behind? What kind of life are they going to be living? We want them to live a good, clean life the way back in the old days. It was really nice, and we could walk around the street without fear. And now you can't get out of trains, you can't get out of buses. They put you on fire or cut you up and stab you, whatever, or shoot you wherever they can. You got to be careful.
And no one helps.
You got to, you can't wear the jewelry like this, your rings and all that stuff. You got to be careful, because now people say, oh, I like that ring. I like that chain around his neck. Gold's going up so much. I want a piece of that. They don't want to earn it. They want to steal it from you. And they'll kill you for it.
It's very true. We're living in some scary times. But it starts, like I said, from the household, but also from your elected officials, because they're the ones that can control that. You keep people accountable. You used to say when we were younger, do the crime, do the time, right? And now it's like, just you're out tomorrow. So you need to actually, we need to find a better way.
Exactly. You can't commit a crime and they take you to the precinct, and tomorrow night you're back home again. What are they doing? That's the way that I grew up.
Well, because they made it political now, left versus right. That's what it is now. It's not the right. It doesn't matter. A criminal's a criminal. But one side is like, put them in jail. So the other side goes, let's get them out. It's crazy to me.
It is crazy.
But that's the world we live in today.
Exactly.
You got a lot of good ones, a lot of bad ones, but to get the bad ones out, lock them up, put them away. This is uncalled for. Now, you got beautiful grandchildren yourself back east in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You have 2 grandchildren?
Three. Actually, yeah. Leslie and I were married before we got married. So we have a whole bunch of, I have 3.
3.
grandkids. He's got so many I can't remember.
Together, y'all got a team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, I can't keep up. And then he also has a great grandchild.
Oh, God
Like
bless.
I
That's
said.
awesome.
He was
Yeah.
playing with the Stylistics and the Commodores at one time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good guy. Wesley, if you're watching the show, what you heard what she said? She lost track of how many kids you got.
He's gonna kill me. He put me on the spot. That's why I have to really sit down and think of all their names and stuff. But I have it in my phone.
Okay, good.
Okay. Yeah.
Make sure you stay in contact
I have
with
an
them.
alert telling me when their birthdays are and stuff. It's just too
Tonight he was playing the band notes on the piano tonight when you're singing, so be
Yeah,
careful. You
tonight.
see why.
When that different note comes out right now.
I know, right? Oh my God! Oh my Lord!
Wesley,
Yeah.
you're blessed with this wonderful wife that you have. She's the best. Beautiful and smart, caring and loving.
Oh,
she's
thank
she's
you.
what it takes to be a good woman. And what we need more people out there. And you can make that happen, Mr. Kess. You're on the right track for sure.
I'm certainly going to try. That's the goal.
You have
Yeah.
to come to Lola sometime.
Yeah, I'd love to.
You'll like
I'd
it
love
there.
to.
'Cause we-
You're 5 nights a week now. And you're on there
Yeah.
from Wednesday through
Thursday,
Sundays, right?
Friday, Saturday. It will be Sundays after the Super Bowl because
Yeah.
now everybody's into football. So.
Yeah. Now football.
Yeah.
You said you bought a team out here recently.
So we work a lot with a lot of teams, and a lot of the teams that don't make the playoffs, they usually do a trip, right? Like offensive linemen or DBs. So we work with a lot of them, and we just had the Cincinnati Bengals in last weekend, which was really cool. It's just great to see all these people you see on TV that are larger than life, and then you get to meet them, and they're
Yeah.
just regular cool guys.
Yeah.
Some of them
Yeah.
super huge, but still, it's a blessing to be able to spend time with people that have found success
Yeah.
in their profession, and you can have conversations and you can learn. I learn a ton from all of my clients because they have different experiences than I do. So
Yeah.
You know, one thing that you mentioned, me talking about knowing about these athletes, conversations here. When I was an executive assistant manager at the El Conquistador Hotel in Puerto Rico, we had the American Airlines Golf Classic. They had 2 consecutive years. My wife Sylvia was the clubhouse manager. I was the executive assistant manager of the hotel. And I used to deal with all the celebrities. And the celebrities we bring for American Airlines Golf Classic was players like Willie Mays, Joe DiMaggio, Elton Howard, Bobby Bonds, Sandy Koufax. There were so many great players, and Willie Mays and I became the best of friends for many years during that period. And then after I left Puerto Rico back in '76, December '76, I came back to New York, and Willie Mays stayed in contact up until he passed away a couple of years ago. Willie Mays was one of the greatest, number 24, when he was with the New York Giants and with the San Francisco Giants. He was quite a good guy. Joe DiMaggio, I spent a lot of good time with Joe DiMaggio as well. You know, Bobby Bonds was really a great guy to be with. Him and I spent a lot of hours together. But Willie Mays and I was like almost day and night. Every day he'd be out there golfing. I'd be taking care of the hotel. After he got through golfing, we have a cocktail party with all the players, and then we go for dinner. I had about 25, 30 players. We go for dinner, then Willie Mays and I would take off. He said, Joe, I got to go to San Juan. We get in my car. We drive 40 miles to San Juan to hang out and meet with his friends. Get back at 2 or 3 in the morning. I was back in the hotel 8 o'clock in the morning. It was a lot of fun meeting all these great celebrities. It was just a good time, good old days.
yeah, good experiences, and
And
again, you learn a lot because their life is very different than your life. So
Yeah,
you learn so
exactly.
much.
And you know what? I wasn't refereeing yet. I was just barely starting. But one day in Atlantic City, somebody told me, hey, Joe, Willie Mays sitting over there. I said, where? He's at ringside. I went over there. He was like sitting at the ringside table, and I came behind him, and I grabbed him by the neck. I like choking my Joe. He said, holy crap, Joe, what are you doing? What, you refereeing? I said, yeah. I was doing my first world title fight. It was Aaron Pryor and Miguel Montilla in 1982. And he was there that night. He couldn't believe it. But Willie Mays and I were good friends for so many years. I just really enjoy his company, and may he rest in peace.
That's awesome. That's great to
Anyway,
hear.
my friend, we're about to wrap it up now. Don't forget that we have a show here every Friday here in Las Vegas. My good friend Rick Manning is a great producer here, a director. He does it all. He's a cameraman. He's a coordinator. He does everything here. If you guys want to do a show, reach out to Rick Manning and we'll get yourself on the track. If you miss being on this show here, come back because this is where you want to be. Joe Cortez, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch him up, buddy. Good luck. I'll catch you next week.
Thank you very much.
Undisputed champion. Take care. I'm fair, but I'm firm.